Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was received in a very hostile house, the House of Honorables. Someone was telling me they should be referred to as dishonorable members of parliament because the impeachment motion is one that had been decided. No amount of evidence would persuade them to vote otherwise. But despite the fact that they decided to subject Honorable Rigathi Gachagua to a public National Assembly lynching, to a public National Assembly mob justice, Rigathi did not go down alone. Rigathi decided, in what many people are now saying, to ban the school with all the certificates. That's what people are saying. Because he took that opportunity to give each and every person a dose of himself. First, it was the president. Rigathi Gachagua played clips of President William Samoei Ruto attacking the former NIS boss, attacking Kinoti. In fact, alikuwa anamuita mjinga. And then another clip where William Ruto criticized the former Inspector General of Police, Hilary Mutyambai, and he was saying that he is the most incompetent IG in the world. I don't want to play those clips. So he gave William Ruto his dose, thereby saying that if that was a crime then to criticize independent offices and independent institutions, then William Ruto should have gone home. Number two was the Speaker of the National Assembly, Moses Masika Wetangula. Rigathi Gachagua said that the reason why Moses Masika Wetangula is in the position of a national speaker is because they had a power-sharing deal where Wetangula and Mudavadi signed on behalf of the sons and daughters of Mulembe. And in that agreement, they had opined that Moses Wetangula, in the event that they assume power, Wetangula would be a Speaker of the National Assembly and Mudavadi will be a chief minister. And that is how things are. But if there is one person who got a double dose of her medicine, is none other than Gladys Boss Shollei. Shollei had deconstructed Rigathi Gachagua, and in her assertion, she had concluded by saying that Rigathi Gachagua had committed treason and therefore he belonged to jail. And I want us to listen to that speech by Gladys Boss Shollei. Then you will get that response from Rigathi Gachagua and you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. But before that, listen to Rigathi giving a dose to all the members of parliament who had claimed that Rigathi's statements were tantamount to trying to block development going to other regions. A dose for the members of parliament. In fact, they were left wondering whether to impeach Rigathi Gachagua or not. The only reason why they impeached it was because they had to impeach him. I mean, there was no any other reason. Listen to Rigathi Gachagua.
It is therefore not possible that the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has the capacity to deny any part of Kenya resources because of the way they voted. The decisions on how resources will be allocated for the development of the Republic of Kenya are made here by the honorable members. If your area has no development, please don't impeach the Deputy President. Don't accuse him of not giving you resources. You are in this house to make sure that your area where you come from is allocated appropriate resources, because that is your job.
That was the response towards the accusations that his statements were tantamount to a leader who did not want development projects to go to other regions. Now, listen to Gladys Shollei and the response that Rigathi gave her.
To refer to the press conference that the Deputy President held in Mombasa on the 25th of June, 2024. In that particular press statement, he distanced himself from the Finance Bill 2024. As a member of cabinet, in his position as Deputy President, he is collectively responsible for all the decisions that are made in cabinet, and therefore, in distancing himself, he violated Article 153 of the Constitution. And furthermore, by the mere fact of holding a presser at a time when the country was in crisis, when the president has addressed the nation, he went on to have his own one-man show of a presser. That is the greatest definition of gross misconduct. It is pure insubordination. No one can do that. It is unthinkable for a principal assistant to contradict the principal. If you want to contradict the principal, you resign your position and go and contradict them from outside. 5, during the rally in Githurai, Nairobi, which was presided over by the Deputy President, with some members of parliament present, he was involved in leading chants that said, Ruto must go. Ruto is a one-term president. He never denounced those statements. What that amounts to is that he is guilty of treason and other allied offenses. That is the Penal Code, Section 40. And I will read it out, just that there is no doubt. It says that any person owing allegiance to the Republic of Kenya or else of Kenya, if they compass, imagine, invent, devise any deeds with the intention of the death, the maiming, the wounding, the imprisonment, or restraint of the president is guilty of treason.
Finally, the Honorable Boss Shollei, I heard what you said in Eldoret. I heard this morning that you said I should be charged with treason. But my sister, me, I'm a grateful man. I remember, and I'll never forget, during the last administration when I was arrested on fabricated charges for standing with the President William Ruto against the wish of the government at that time, Gladys Shollei came and sat with me at DCI headquarters, brought me tea, brought me lunch, sat with me, comforted me. At court, she coordinated the collection of 12.5 billion shillings as my cash bail. She came to see me in Gigiri for 4 days and had very kind words for me. Despite what you have said, my sister, I do remember that one good thing that you did for me, and I'll love you and cherish you for the rest of my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that when you attack someone, when you make such startling allegations against your friend, because that is what Rigathi Gachagua was saying, that Gladys is his friend. And he's telling Gladys that despite all that you said, I heard you. All that you said, I still remember that one thing that you did to me. I mean, that was the best way to deconstruct Gladys in a very polite manner. And wherever Gladys was in that parliament, and wherever she is now, I know she's burning with a lot of guilt, because that response was one of a kind. I know they might expected that Rigathi was going to blow, that Rigathi was going to criticize, that maybe Rigathi was going to say, you know, you are the deputy speaker of the National Assembly, but you've now taken sides. They even thought that Rigathi would request her to request herself from being the arbiter, the neutral arbiter in the National Assembly. But what did Rigathi do? Rigathi decided to remind her of the good old days when, according to them, the former regime was up in arm with them. And he gives an account of how Gladys came to visit him, how Gladys procured the bail for some millions of money as bail for him, how Gladys gave him food. And I thought Rigathi just nailed it. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I still hold the opinion that as the National Assembly, a house that should be respected, they needed to have shown the whole nation that they were serious. Because someone was asking, was there the result of public participation when people went out there as was ordered by a Kerugoya court, High Court, that they should conduct, public participation in all the constituencies? Was there any result? Someone was saying that they should have tabled that and say that in this constituency, this is what we got, in this is what we got. But what they did was to come with a blanket, a kind of information, a general information. And then you could see the mood. It was a decided moment. Like people are saying, they should have considered when he said that it is your role. He was challenging them. It is your role as members of parliament to ensure that development, because matters development are channeled and planned at the National Assembly level. What has happened is he has exposed. He exposed parliament, he revealed to them, because maybe there are people who did not know that the president had criticized independent institutions. There are people who didn't know that members of parliament are responsible for planning for the national cake, the development projects to go to their constituencies. If they fail, it is their own failure. Some people did not know that actually the agreement within Kenya Kwanza was signed by lawyers. Kithure Kindiki is a lawyer. Moses Wetangula is a lawyer. And some people did not know. And so what happened? Rigathi Gachagua left this in the courts of the public opinions. At parliament level, they won because they have the numbers. But many people now know that even if Rigathi is going home, he's going home because of malice.